Okay. This is Keith again, otherwise known as Ufgood, and today was going to be. See, it's the 19th of February, but this is technically hour two. Um, so I've already tried to do a video twice, and I realized I was just doing a lot of talking, not much doing, and it's probably pretty boring. So I don't know how I'm going to get people interested and excited to watch me if I'm just jabbering on instead of doing something. I can jabber while I'm doing something, but there's that. So, um, I am going to, uh, since I'm making an adventure game, I need to figure out what elements, what things I need to work on. What do I need to program? What do I need to do art wise? What do I need to do story wise? What do I? So, I need to break this down. So, if you didn't know already, an adventure game is essentially a game characterized by heavy emphasis on narrative, on a story. It's based on a story, a story-based game, and it involves usually overcoming obstacles so you can explore the next part of the map or the location and reveal more of the story. So if you were doing a mystery, say a mystery of a haunted house, you're trying to locate a hidden safe, uh, you would explore the haunted house and maybe you'd see some ghosts or something, and then you'd have to figure out what the ghosts are doing, and what they are. Maybe they're not really ghosts. Maybe they're, maybe it's a fake thing somebody's setting up to scare you off. In any case, you here, give me a second. It's I got the IRC chat in my other monitor right now. Somebody is talking to me. Uh, I know. I'm just answering this guy. I was going to put the IRC chat in my main window and record it while I was, working, but he was going like, "Why would anybody want to see that?" Nobody would want to see that. They don't want to read. You don't want to read text, and so that's cool. I get it. Um, he's still thinking that I'm mad or annoyed or whatever, or put off or whatever by what he said. I'm not. I'm just telling him that it's fine. Um, and the reason I have to restart is because I'm doing too much talking and not enough doing. Okay, so let's get back to the game. So, so an adventure game will involve a story. It'll involve puzzles. There's not usually. It involves very little to no action or combat or anything like that. No Twitch stuff. Although some games have actually tried to incorporate that, and some actual 3D platformers, say, or shooters or whatever, try to incorporate narrative elements, have a heavy story, but they're still primarily action games. An adventure game is typically non-action. It's more your head, right? It's more solving puzzles. It's like unraveling a mystery, and often they are mysteries. Okay, so I kind of need to know. I need to break down what elements I need that will make up this game. So, so the first aspect of an adventure game is a story. So we're going to say story. Okay. Right. What kind of story are you trying to tell? Is it like I said, a mystery in a haunted mansion of some sort? Is it The Secret of Monkey Island, one of the most famous PC games of all time, is about a kid that wants to become a pirate, and so he sets off to do it on this island called Melee Island. That eventually leads to Monkey Island, but that's beside the point. But he wants to be a pirate, so he goes around trying to figure out how to be a pirate. In any case, so story is a heavy part of it. So I'm gonna need a story. I already got a story. I already got characters. I already got, you know what I mean? So we're just gonna say that we're gonna say exploration, because there's a lot of that going on. That's part of adventure game is actually going exploring. When you go on a real adventure, what are you doing? You're venturing forth. You're exploring. You're going out and doing stuff, right? Think Indiana Jones exploring some lost temple in Peru or something, right? So it involves exploration. What else does it involve? It involves puzzles. Now, when we say puzzle, we don't necessarily mean like a literal puzzle, like a jigsaw puzzle, or one of the sliding tile puzzles where like one's open and then you have to slide the tiles around until it makes a picture. Not that people don't put those kinds of puzzles in an adventure game, but typically they're not of that nature. They're more of the inventory nature. They're more of kind of supporting the story. You need a clue. For instance, you need to open a safe. You don't have the combination, so what do? You start looking around for various numbers that may serve to be part of a combination to the safe, right? So let's say you have a birthday written on a child's portrait, like somebody had a kid and they have their birthday on there. And so you decide that maybe you could use the birthday as the combination, but it's not the combination. So you continue to look around, and then you find something that maybe relates to the birthday picture somehow, but also has part of a number on it. And so that might be something you need to put in there. And so maybe you just make you come up with this combination by putting these different various elements together that you found out, and then you open the safe. And so that's basically it's the lock and door puzzle where you have to find the key. In this case, the key might be like the combination to a safe, or it might be an actual key, or it might be basically pieces of inventory that you need to open something or to do something. So what do we got here? We got story, we got exploration, we got puzzles. Okay. Now, that's actually kind of the three main. Here, let's go to this on Adventure Gamers as a description. So the characteristics that they put on are narrative, which is story, puzzles, and exploration. And then this talks about telling the different types of, deals, and okay. And then the graphic styles. Actually, the graphic styles is interesting. 2D illustrations like animated cartoons, right? Each background and character is individually drawn. That's what I'm doing. Slideshow, sort of like this, and then there's a real-time 3D, and then there's full motion video types, which you make decisions, and it plays some actual video for you. And then there's the text adventure, which originally that's all they had was text. They didn't have graphics at the time. So basically, that's your main part. So now what I need to do is, when I make this, I need to break this down. So for story, what would I have? I'd have characters. Here, let's do this in this kind of style. Let's indent this a little bit. Tab, story, characters, setting plot, because I need all those things. You need those for writing, right? Okay, exploration, basically locations. I'll say maps as a separate thing to locations, because you make a map of the locations, and it doesn't have to be a literal map in the game, but you kind of need to know where you're going, so how those locations relate to each other. So that's your exploration aspect. Then puzzles I can't really break down. I mean, I could break them down into a types of puzzles, but since you don't go, well, I'm just going to do only this kind of puzzles, or I'm going to do a certain amount of these types of puzzles. You're just doing puzzles, right? So it might be like a dialogue dealy. It might be a it could be, you know, an inventory puzzle. It could be just a standard lock and key. It could be changing your environment. It could be all that, right? So I think I'll leave that like it is. So we got kind of our elements here. Now, let's see. How do I break this down? Audio, visual, programming. I'm not really sure how I should break this down. Let's see. I'm still thinking here. I'm not really sure. I mean, that's your kind of your main deals for that, right? So, okay, so let's figure out what I need for a system. So, I need, okay, let's just do this like this, right? Audio and visual aspects, and what else would I do? Would I say writing? Would that be in addition to audio visual? What am I going to need here? We'll go ahead and just break this out just a little bit. So that is sound effects and music. See that these are backgrounds, character animations, objects, object animations. We'll do it like that. That is your audio visual. Cutscenes, I could say cutscenes because that actually encompasses all of that. So let's make that a separate deal. So I'm actually going to have cutscenes. What cutscenes are they're cut to scenes. They're animations or video that are in between logical partitions of the game. So, for instance, you need to find the location of a treasure, and so you start at a museum. A museum is one location, and then when you finally find what you're looking for in the let's say in the museum, there's an art piece that has like a map or something, and then you figure out what the location is on that map. So your other scene would be you need to go to this island that it points to on the map. So you'd have a cutscene or an animation in between showing your character getting on a plane and heading to South America or something, or whatever it is. So cutscenes.